Back inside, Travis Kelce celebrating with Mike Tannenbaum, Tim Hasselbeck. I'm Zubin Mehenti. There's Brittany Mahomes, soon to be an SI cover girl. Patrick Mahomes, the cover boy of the National Football League. And Tim, that's where I want to go with this cross-sport pollination. John Elway just brought the Lombardi Trophy up. John won 2 Super Bowls playing for Kyle's dad. Tonight, Mike's son is vanquished by Patrick Mahomes. It all comes together. Cross-sport, from what you've seen, we've talked about Patrick's greatness in football, but all those names, all those winners, all those greatness, what does that tell you?
It's the greatest start to a football career that we've ever seen. I mean, I think that it's fair to say that in terms of what Patrick Mahomes has accomplished. And look, football is the ultimate team game. It's very hard for one player, to really control outcomes of football games, even quarterbacks. But that being said, when you find yourself, when you had the graphic up earlier, Zubin, about double-digit comebacks in the biggest game of the year, what he's done in the biggest moments, he's been remarkable. And he's started to change the way the position's been played with some of the other crazy stuff that he does in terms of throwing the ball late down, across his body into the middle of the field, things of that nature. He's changing the game of football the way he's playing the quarterback position. At
this very second, Patrick Mahomes is hosting the Lombardi Trophy. He's hosting it in his hands. He's got it clutched. He's also got another piece of hardware he'll be taking home, his 3rd Super Bowl MVP. Guys with 3 Super Bowl MVPs include Joe Montana with 3. Joe Cool is in the house tonight. Tom Brady with 5. Of course, the man Mahomes is now chasing. He has 5. Mahomes has 3. Fastest to win the championship. Look at that across sports again. You got Magic, Duncan, his airness, Shaq, Joe Cool, the King, Brady, Wah. There are just so many ways to define his greatness, and every time I look up and see him in a group of these guys, I tend to think these guys are in a group with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and Zubin, they're over the hump. There you have the youngest defense in the NFL. They're going to be favored next year, and they moved on from Tyreek Hill. They got to figure out L'Jarius Sneed, a very good corner, and obviously Chris Jones. But the rest of the nucleus is coming back. What's scary about where they are is I could see San Francisco's window closing because of Brock Purdy. He's going to have to make a lot more money.
Sure.
But not the Chiefs. We're looking at all those graphics and stats and accomplishment. I hate to say it, but the best is yet to come. He's in the prime of his career, and that nucleus is under contract for a while.
And this is not hyperbole whatsoever. This is just simply reality. Again, Boomer on the field at Allegiant Stadium with Booger, Alex Smith, best highlights. The guys are going to join him on the field, the celebratory Chiefs all around Boomer. SVP tonight, all night long. ESPN's nonstop Super Bowl coverage rolls on. Thanks for being with us. Tim, from this perspective, let's talk about the Niners. They won Super Bowl 29. Then it was 29 years of emptiness, and it was so close to ending tonight. Where do the Niners go from here, despite all the heartbreak they've had, how close they've been?
Look, it's a devastating loss anytime you lose in this fashion in this game, but it may take a second to get there, but I think you need to be really, really encouraged by what you saw out of Brock Purdy. When you have a guy in his second year in overtime lead his team to take the lead. A few years ago when the rules were different, that would have won the football game. So because the rules are different now, they end up losing. In terms of Kyle Shanahan, I actually think he did a really good job. I know a lot of people will question whether he can win, a Super Bowl, win the big game, but I thought he did a really good job calling this game. He manufactured points early in the game with a trick play, but there were times that he did a good job of being patient with the run. And so it's a devastating loss. And I know that there'll be a lot of criticism because they lost, but I actually think Kyle Shanahan did a good job. He just happened to face Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And I think the same thing goes for Brock Purdy.
Isn't it ironic, the fact that the Super Bowl rules and the OT rules are changed because of who else? Mahomes, 13 seconds, 21 divisional against Buffalo. He's simply involved in every single storyline.
Yeah, but again, to me, going back to the decision, and Tim said there's going to be criticism, but the facts are, what Kyle Shanahan did was totally appropriate for a regular season game. And again, Zuma, we talked about this. Where's the check and balance? Because you'd rather have the ball and play 4-down football. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid knew they had 4 downs to keep going. That is a market advantage when a game is so close.
We got to discuss the missed PAT.
Yep, absolutely. It was a low kick. And Jake Moody had the Super Bowl record for about 5 minutes there when he beat Steve Christie's record. But yeah, that was a low kick. That was a massive play in the game, and special teams really hurt him. The fumble punt and the extra point were huge plays.
I want to talk about one guy that's going to be a little overshadowed because of everything that's going on with Travis Kelce, who literally just kissed Taylor Swift on the field right now.
You do it all, Zubin.
That'll be the most Instagrammable moment of all time. Patrick Mahomes. Steve Spagnuolo won the Super Bowl. He was in charge of this Chiefs defense, a little bit underrated throughout the season, but the man you're seeing on the screen staring in disbelief there with his daughter essentially said the defense carried us the entire season. Tim Spags, the man they call Spags, is the first defensive coordinator with 4 Super Bowl championships to his name. It's not somebody we'll talk about. Let's give him a little credit here.
Oh, he deserves a lot of credit. I mean, when you think about what he has done in big games, look at the Niners were 3 of 12 on third down in this football game. A remarkable job coaching defense his entire career. When you think about just kind of the rarefied air that he finds himself in now in terms of, coordinators and Super Bowl success, it's incredible. And I know that we'll focus a lot on Patrick Mahomes, and we should because of the game-winning drive. But we talked about it right when we came on. It was really a defensive-led team for much of the season, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. So I think there were a few moments where he was aggressive when he needed to be aggressive. It paid off. This is actually a play right here where they had batted a ball down on a third down, which forced a field goal rather than San Francisco converting. And so, yeah, I think that when you look, if you could give MVPs for the entire team, I think you could argue that Steve Spagnuolo deserved one tonight with how he called that defense.